Same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Take out the brains, not forgetting the topics. This is Dirty Laundry.
Hello and welcome to Dirty Laundry with Pinky and the Brain. How excited are we, Brain?
Oh, super excited, hey. No, always excited, actually.
Always excited. I mean, why wouldn't you be excited about speaking about controversial topics?
You know, exactly. It gets the blood boiling.
It gets the blood boiling. It gets your heart
puts
racing.
the wind in your sails, you know.
Exactly. Exciting stuff. But before we dive into all of that, we've got a song especially for you. Enjoy.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Man's empty praise, treasures that fade are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together, and every desire is now satisfied. Here in your love, you turn graves into gardens, you turn bones into armies, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who cares. I'm not afraid to show you my weakness. Failures and flaws, don't you see them all? Still call me friend. It's the God of the mountain, it's the God of the valley. But there's not a place your mercy and grace will find me again. You turn graves into gardens, you turn bones into armies, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who cares. You turn graves into gardens, you turn bones into armies, you turn seas into highways. You're the only one who cares.
So, the Eternals, latest
Eternal.
Marvel movie out there for us to watch. Very interesting movie.
Very
Half
interesting.
the Marvel fans don't even... Okay, if you are a true Marvel fan, you know who the Eternals are.
Yes.
If you are just the plus one who tags along when your friends are... When your
Yeah.
hardcore Marvel fans are going to watch movies, you probably don't know who the Eternals are.
Yeah.
So Brain is going to let us know who the Eternals are before we tell you what it is that is going on with the Eternals and why people are upset.
So, the Eternals. So, the Eternals are pretty much, imagine it's kind of like gods in the Marvel universe, you can say. They're immortal beings with like very powerful immortal beings. So, pretty
Who
much...
just happened to be MIA when
Yeah.
Thanos was breaking all hell. Like he was literally letting hell loose on Earth.
Marvel told them to chill. No, because their whole mandate is not to interfere. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Unless kind of like deviants attack. You get what I'm saying?
But for other Marvel hardcore diehard fans, they would be like, but Thanos
Yeah,
is a deviant.
I know. I guess this is where the whole, movies and comics differ. Because
Yeah.
in the comics, you'd get like the X-Men teaming together with the Avengers, teaming
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
fight a common enemy. But you just can't have that in the movies
Yeah.
because of, budget, scheduling, actors. Not to mention the movie rights that are split between Sony
Yeah.
and Marvel with regards to like Spider-Man and the X-Men and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's quite difficult. But immensely powerful characters that pretty much guided humanity and, helped humanity evolve and advance technologically, advance cultures, and advance as a society.
Yeah.
So this movie is kind of like we get to know them. You get what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
get to know their stance. We get to know their purpose. We get to see their power and what they've been responsible for, like pretty much throughout human history. It's a pretty interesting movie. It's also the scale of the movie is pretty crazy as well.
In what
It's-
terms?
As in, I think the stakes are quite high.
Yeah.
The scale is in you get to see the more cosmic side of the Marvel universe.
Okay.
You get to see the Celestials and more about the Celestials and the Eternals, So everything that's just outside Earth.
Yeah.
Because the Marvel universe is huge. The Marvel multiverse is huge. So you get to see that side of the Marvel universe, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So we're not here to take over the movie show, right? There's a show that will probably do a show on this and diving
Yeah.
deep into what we're talking about is what everybody's mad about. So apparently, not even apparently, there is a gay affectionate scene in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Where dude kisses dude.
Dude A.
Dude
Kisses
A
dude
is
B.
black. Dude A is gay. Dude A kisses dude B.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
what it
it's
is.
a kissing scene, basically between a gay couple.
Mm-hmm.
And this has made a few conservative countries.
Like not even just people. It's literally countries.
Well, the legislators, pretty much, the lawmakers, of the country, the guys in charge,
The guys in charge.
has made them quite upset.
Very upset to the point that this movie is not going to be showing in their country.
Yeah.
These countries are Saudi Arabia,
Oh, very, very infamous for this.
very
actually.
infamous, Qatar,
Another one.
and Kuwait.
Yeah. So these are your very conservative, mostly Muslim nations.
So if you live in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, or Qatar,
Yeah.
you'd have to go on holiday to watch this movie unless you know how to torrent
Then they
and
don't let you back in
download.
the country. You watched it.
You watched the movie,
you've
you're
been
not allowed
tainted.
back into our country. How are they going to get that
You
right?
bring that along with you into our country.
How are they
We
going to
can't
get
have
that right?
going on. They'll just know. They'll smell it.
They'll just know, like when you hop off the plane, they'll be like,
You
"You
smell
watched
like MCU."
Eternals. You smell like MCU," and they'll probably call it a Western brainwashing thing.
Yeah. Because it's crazy because they called for censorship. So it's actually common practice. This actually happens where, depending on the country, the studio and stuff will choose to edit out some scenes, cut out some scenes,
Yeah.
to then screen that movie in a specific
And
country.
they were given the option to
Yeah,
cut
yeah.
out some of the scenes,
Yeah.
but they did not do that. So that means that they were okay, basically. So basically, they were standing up for what they believed in, right?
Yeah.
And Angelina Jolie says that she is proud of Marvel for refusing to actually cut these scenes out, and anyone who is angry about it or threatened by it or doesn't approve it or doesn't appreciate it is ignorant. Those were her exact words. So if we're upset, threatened, don't approve or don't appreciate, then you are ignorant. So basically, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar are all
All of them.
ignorant. All of
The
them.
entire nations are just ignorant. It's a pretty interesting setting, hey. Because now as we move further in time, we get to see that I guess more of a voice is being given,
Yeah.
or more, I would almost say, power in a way is being given to representation of homosexuals or different sexual orientations and all, to the point such that it's almost become a must to add at least one character that is of different sexual orientation from heterosexual.
Yeah.
And anybody who is against that
Is
is
the
public
problem.
enemy number one.
But now the problem is, if we're going to create a movie based on the comics, right?
Yeah.
How true to the story are we going to keep just to be inclusive? So then we're now taking away the experience for the people who know the Marvel comics. We're taking away the experience for them, and now just so that we can be inclusive and not be like we're hating on the other community.
Yeah, one thing with the movie studios, they've always taken liberties when it came to the comics. They haven't really followed it 1-to-1. Yes, they have had, of course, the hardcore kind of like fans do
Yeah.
lose their minds when they see it like faithfully.
Yeah.
Some characters faithfully kind of like realized onto the big screen. But yeah, they've taken some extreme liberties in some cases, changing entire genders of characters.
Dude.
And even now sexual orientation of characters. For what reason, really? I'm one of this stance. I'm of this stance. Like, it doesn't. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? If a character is of race A or race B, sexual orientation A or B, as long as it's not like forced in. You get what I'm saying? If a character is well written, if
Yeah.
a character is actually well written, people don't care. People will actually even side with the character if it's well written. The problem always just comes in, when you shoehorn these characters for the sake of representation,
Yeah.
really. So, I myself haven't watched the movie yet, so I'm not saying that, no, this was forced in or anything like that, nah.
Well,
there have
look,
been cases where it
it's not
has been.
even just like a fling, right?
Yeah.
And this is not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler at all. So this Fetos guy,
Festos.
Festos,
He is a bit chubby. That's his lesser powerful cousin, Fetos.
Festos, right,
Yeah.
is a husband who has a child.
Yes.
So it's not even a
With
thing
another
of
husband.
with another husband. Why did you have to mention it like that?
They need to know the setup. Because they might think maybe we've moved on to a new character. No, this is the highlight of the show. This is the person we're talking
This
about.
is dude A and
This is
dude
dude
B.
A,
They
yeah,
are both husband and husband.
Yes.
So they are husband and husband, right?
Yes.
And they have a child. So this isn't even like it's one of those like scenes that draw your heart. You know, that in the moment where they were just like, and then mwah, kiss.
Yeah.
No, it's like literally a thing.
Yeah.
Like from the beginning that
Yeah.
dude A and dude B are a couple.
Yeah, and then of course you look at the comments, but that wasn't the case in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a very drastic change. It is a very drastic change, I guess, for the sake of inclusivity. And I don't know, man. I don't think like it should be done that way, doing it for the sake of.
Yeah.
Like, write a story where that character is gay or whatever race and all that, and then, if the character is well written, if the character is interesting, about the character is good, people don't really care about all this other stuff. That's just part of the character. It's only poorly done when the fact that the character is gay is the only personality this character has, or the only character traits this character has, which hopefully is not the case here in the movie. I hope they don't make such a big fuss about it.
His
To
superpower is
remind us
being gay.
at every
So
time.
like his other superpower is just like backseats, but the reason why he saves the world is because he was gay.
So I hope they don't do that.
Yeah, because that will
Yeah, because a lot of movies have stuffed up
Yeah.
or have been
In
messed
that
up because
aspect, yeah.
she's just strong because she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? That's not it.
We're not hashtagging any movies
Yeah,
to be
I'm saying.
specific.
You know,
She's not just a woman, she's a pretty woman.
Charlie's Angels is the worst case scenario for this.
What is wrong with Charlie's Angels?
Charlie's Angels is a perfect case study of what not to do.
Okay, but
in a
which
movie.
Charlie's Angel?
The new one that came out recently. The one with
Okay,
that-
but they were skilled. They had skill.
look,
They had
the
like
movie, like
training.
literally. It's such a, you could almost call it hate speech. Do you see how men are just portrayed to be either just
The bad
villainous?
guy, yeah.
They just all the men are just either dumb or
Well,
just like
it was
bad
going
guys.
with what the world was going in that time. That
No.
hashtag men are
If you
trash.
actually look at it
So,
with these movies, it's more a representation of what the author or the director is thinking, because they start to project their own feelings into this.
Yeah,
Because
and
when
that-
she was interviewed after her movie had a box office bombed, it bombed pretty much in the box office. You know what she wanted to complain about? It's the men who didn't go and watch my movies.
so if the men watched it, then it would have done
Yeah,
better.
so she was like, men don't want to see strong female leads on the camera. That's what she was heading at. And then you see that in the movie pretty much, because it was unnecessary. Because now you look at movies like Wonder Woman. I always they never made a big deal about the fact that she's a woman. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
The character is also well written.
yeah.
That even us as guys will be like, woo, Wonder Woman, yeah. You get what I'm saying? Because we don't care. If a character is well written, nobody cares. Just don't make it such that the fact that this person
Yeah.
is of a specific gender or sexual orientation, that's what makes them awesome.
I agree.
You get what I'm
I
saying?
definitely agree.
You know?
So unfortunately, it's not just the Middle Eastern countries. There's also Russia and China that have their
course
two
China wouldn't
cents.
have
That have their 2 cents to say about this. I wonder why Russia though.
Russia is also very anti-gay, actually. Very anti-gay.
Okay.
Vladimir Putin. Very anti-gay. China is so sensitive. I think I've mentioned
Yeah.
this in an earlier show, or whereby there was the movie Monster Hunter.
Yes.
I think I've referenced this before, but anyway, I'll say it again. But there was a scene in Monster Hunter where an Asian character made a joke. So he's Chinese. Right?
Yeah.
He's actually Chinese. So he tells one of the characters, hey, look at these knees. Then the person's like, okay, what am I supposed to be saying? And they're Chinese. Just because of that scene, it wasn't showed enough. They wanted that scene off or not show the movie in China.
That's intense.
Yeah.
But now the problem is that with how China is taking this, is that since Eternals is going to be a thing now, right? Because they're basically going to be very involved with the rest of the Marvel,
The MCU.
the MCU, right? So that means that potentially in the future, every other Marvel movie is then going to have a very interesting run in China. So it's not just it's so the Chinese people might not see the next few Marvel movies because of Eternals,
It's a possibility. It is a
which
possibility.
is crazy because then Marvel's then losing how much
lot of
money?
money.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
'Cause,
China is a big
China,
movie market.
Qatar,
Yeah.
like Saudi Arabia, like that's those are all first world countries,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of money that
It
they'd
is.
be losing.
But let's see the kind of fancy footwork they do around this.
Okay, voting time, right?
Also, sorry, just to point
Mm-hmm.
it out, surprisingly enough, Eternals is the worst reviewed
Marvel movie.
Marvel movie.
People
out
were
so far.
complaining that it didn't feel like a Marvel movie.
Interesting. Maybe because, when there's a political agenda being pushed somewhere,
That's the
people
problem.
see through it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Let's hope
that's
that-
the problem.
But yeah, that's probably the case.
But you know, I think it's fine because it's not really it's just like Captain Marvel, which didn't do also
as well.
well because it's just like they couldn't just give us these characters. They needed to introduce us to these characters that we've never seen before.
Yeah, and
so
with Captain Marvel, what made her character kind of not really stick is kind of like this a
the
writing
savior.
sin called being a Mary Sue.
yeah,
So what this is just basically your character is just awesome just because they're awesome.
yeah,
Where other people struggle to get something, they have weakness, you know.
Yeah.
You get to see them become all
Yeah.
this strength, all this stuff. They develop over
Yeah.
time. There's reasons for why they can do what they can do
Yes.
and stuff like that.
yeah.
She was more like she was just
She's awesome because she's awesome.
yeah.
But so Marvel has actually some pretty awesome movies that
Yes.
are in the lineup. So even though this one didn't do that well,
Yeah.
we are definitely looking forward to the upcoming movies like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange
yes.
and Thor: Love and Thunder. You know, there are
Yes.
some very good movies in the
bangers.
lineup. So I think
Even a new Guardians of the Galaxy is coming.
but that's only in 2024.
Yeah,
That's like
it's
far. That's
It
so
is.
far.
Even a Blade movie is coming. A
Really,
new
Blade?
movie. Yeah, he's in the MCU.
I knew he was in it, but I thought, like, will they use like the old? Okay, that's voting time. Before we go off on a tangent,
All
right?
right.
Do you think that Marvel should have created a different version of the movie without the gay scenes to release in China and Russia and Kuwait and Qatar and Saudi
From
Arabia?
a business point of view, yes.
Yes.
Because that maximizes your profits, you know.
Yes.
But honestly, I think they can just do what they want. So the fact that they kept
Okay,
it, I
in
guess, is
terms
putting
of
their
being
foot down.
inclusive for the LGBTQ community.
Can you-
It's the silence for me. Silence speaks louder than words. So Destin and I are on the same page with this one, and we vote to silence. We will stand in
I guess
solidarity
it's good
with our
that they
silence.
put their foot down. You know, they didn't let like external
To what
forces push
extent?
their weight
To what
around.
extent?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to release our movie this way.
Yeah.
Nobody externally is going to tell us how we should be controlling our movies. I guess in a way, the movie studios are now fighting back and punching back.
At
Because
who?
usually the weight is thrown around from different like countries and
Yeah.
stuff. They say, hey, we don't want this. Hey, we don't want that. Hey, we don't want this. That weight being
So
thrown
basically, what is
around.
happening here is that to spite these countries, we'll chop off our own toe.
Not really spiting, but it's kind of like, hey, this is this creative work I've done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's complete. I'm not going to change anything further. If you don't like it, I guess you won't watch it. Which is not a very profitable way of thinking.
Yeah.
But I guess it shows that there's some
Especially
assertiveness.
because this movie has an important part to play in the rest of the
Yeah.
Marvel movies.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, imagine we just saw Captain Marvel in Endgame. We'd be like, who the hell is this chick?
Yeah.
You know, they needed to give us her little background
Origin
story.
Yeah, but anyway, I guess to try answer your question, I'm all for don't force the inclusivity thing.
Yeah.
Create a new character if you need to.
Exactly.
Don't go on changing something that doesn't need to be changed. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To try force inclusivity, because that is how you make box office bombs. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And some review bombed kind of stuff.
Exactly. That is it for today's show. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We can do this same time, same place next week. Pinky and the Brain signing out.
Signing out.
Enjoying the Active FM shows? Well, then catch us on Instagram at ActiveFM777, Twitter and Gab at ActiveFM, Facebook at ActiveFM/777, as well as YouTube at ActiveFM and our website at www.activefm.co.za. Don't stop, don't hesitate. Find, follow, and enjoy us on all our different platforms. You don't want to miss out.